I used to.
More leaves coming down. Oh, I don't know. All that mess. I could be in and out all day. It's not fair, you know. It's her tree, but somehow it's our leaves.
I might get down the atlas in a minute. Try and spot Helsinki.
Oh, I was just wondering if I ought to wash one or two stockings. Hey, don't make a mess. I've just this minute sat down.
Helsinki. Oh, yes. Capital of Finland. Oh, it was a station on that little wireless we had when we were first married. Ilversum, Helsinki, Droitwich. No end of places.
It's all radio, this, that and the other now.
Won't be so warm. Getting on for the Arctic Circle.
Well, it's to be hoped she takes them little booties we bought for her. They'd be just what the doctor ordered for the Arctic Circle.
Can't be that far off Russia.
Russia?
Oh, she's a sensible girl. Russia won't worry our Margaret. Here we are. Oh, yes. Helsinki. Seaport and capital city of Finland. Population 2.7 million. Chief industries, carpets, pulp and paper making, fisheries. Oh.
Oh, I hope this isn't next door. It's a young woman.
What sort of a young woman?
Educated. She's got a briefcase. You go. Only, Dad, put the chain on.
Hello?
Mr Rhodes?
Yes?
June Potter. I'm from the council, social services department.
Yes?
You had a leaflet.
What leaflet?
Well, you should have had a leaflet put through.
Ma'am, have we had a leaflet?
I threw it away.
It's about the register. Old people in the council area. Hello.
We're not council tenants. You've got mistaken.
Hello.
Yes?
Rhodes, Arthur. Rhodes, Elizabeth Mary.
Well?
It's not confined to council tenants. It's all senior citizens in the council area. We have you down as pensioners.
Ask her for a card.
She looks right enough.
She should have a card. There were a woman at Bramley gagged with her own tights, and they said they were gasmen. Oh. Does this reckon to be you? June Potter?
Yes.
The hair's different.
I wasn't in social services then. I was transport. I had it frizzed out. They tend to be more relaxed in social services.
It's not the same colour.
I've just got back from Torquay.
It is her.
I might have had it dyed then. I can't remember.
Dyed?
A cream rinse.
I thought you said you worked for the council. My uncle worked for the council and you'd never see him without a collar and tie.
Oh, they all dye their hair nowadays. Lads, everybody.
No, he wore a suit every day of his life, did my uncle.
Social services. They let us wear what we like.
That's one of them poncho things, isn't it?
Well, I've seen Princess Anne in one of them.
Not since she got married.
It's just a matter of one or two questions.
Bet you're inside. She's only young.
Oh, you keep saying that. Youth's no guarantee nowadays. There were a woman attacked in the grass meres and it left her a vegetable. Wipe your feet. If you want to come waltzing into people's houses, you want to get yourself a little costume. You'd look heaps better in a little two-piece, and you'd find people much more forthcoming.
Sit there.
Sit down. Do you want some tea? Sending out questionnaires. They want to do something about the public toilets. All that stuff written up on walls, and then them little rings from beer cans lying about all over the place. Sending out questionnaires.
He's hyper careful, his mum.
Oh no, full marks. There are very few people your age know how to answer the door. I wished I could show her to Mr Farquharson. At night, I have to walk down the middle of the road.
I like those poncho things, personally.
Mr Farquharson tells us not to dress up, otherwise we get into a us and them situation. These are in fact old ski pants.
Oh, not them jogging things.
Oh no.
Not a jogger.
Oh, no fear. Thin enough.
What's it to do with this questionnaire?
No. Where possible, interviewers should endeavour to see all members of the household together. I've never done this before, so I have to stick to the book of words. You know, structured.
Don't want to tell two different tales. Tip-top job though, now that, working for the council.
They took me on to do discs, controlled parking,
Transport.
Then the inevitable happened. Computers. I went and saw Mr Stringfellow and he said, my advice to you, June, is to do a bit of a sideway jump and get yourself into the SS, Social Services.
We don't have a parking problem. We don't have a car.
I prefer working with people to cars. They're more unpredictable but much more rewarding. With me, people come first. Old people specifically. Older people.
They are a problem.
Yes.
Where to put them? They must be put somewhere.
Old people?
Cars. I've often thought, if we had one, I could put one of those carport affairs inside the front gate. There's room.
As I see it, young people have a lot to give old people, and old people have a lot to give young people. You know, caring.
I agree. With a car, our daughter can run us to Ilkley or Knaresborough. Will you be motorised?
Oh, I've got my trusty moped, only the clutch is packed up, so I'm sampling public transport.
Oh, but your parents will have a car.
Split up.
Oh, that's on the up and up.
What?
Divorce.
How do you like your tea? We like ours strong.
Weak, please.
No milk.
No milk.
Whatever for?
Because that's how she likes it.
I genuinely have lemon. I don't want lemon, but that's what I have.
I've seen our Margaret have lemon.
Only in a cafe. We haven't got any lemon.
We've got one of those plastic squirters. Lemon juice.
That'll do.
Go and get it done. Oh, and Dad, some little plates. All that's coming now. Lemon in your tea, yoghurt, carrying babies on your back. We weren't brought up to any of that. In fact, I was thought a bit revolutionary for having prunes.
Are these the right plates?
Hey, Dad, not them plates. Oh. The side plates.
Oh, you're not bothered about side plates.
She wants a
She's
scone.
not bothered about side
She
plates.
wants a scone.
I don't want anything to eat.
She doesn't want anything to eat.
She'll have a scone.
No, I'm on a diet. I get migraines.
What? From scones?
It's a special type, non-gluten diet. They've only just pinpointed it. I haven't to have flour.
It's a terrible scourge, migraine. Our daughter gets migraine.
Not from scones, from chocolate. I've never known anybody get headaches from eating scones.
Look at me. I can't do with tomatoes.
That's your bowels. Where's that lemon? One squirt or two?
Let her squirt it herself.
One, please. Now, can we start? This is the leaflet that you should have had, and I'm going to read it to you.
Mum threw it away.
I did not throw it away. It got thrown away.
In recent months, there's been one or two mishaps involving old people, senior citizens, who have become isolated within the community. Now, some genuine tragedies have occurred. Accordingly, your council has decided to compile a register of all persons of pensionable age within the council area. The establishment of such a register will...
Agathermia. Is that it? Agathermia, not us. We've got a duplex. Background eating.
Plus a fire
Duplex and a fire.
for company.
They are, Dad.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, the fire's company. The duplex isn't company.
You didn't say the duplex was company.
Anyway, that takes care of question 7, source of heating. Any heating in the bedroom?
This isn't us. This is old people. You want Mrs. Venables across the road. She's got a pacemaker and her friend comes in from Bradley.
Hang on. The refusal to recognise the approach of old age and the possibility of infirmity is entirely natural and in its way commendable. That was Mr Farquharson last week. You're as old as you feel. But let me sketch out a possible scenario. You're not feeling too clever, you're in bed. Mr Rhodes goes to fetch the milk, it's slippy, and bang, that's his hip gone. Hearing a shout, you get up, go downstairs, and try shifting him. You probably have a dizzy-do, and bang, that's the two of you lying on the path in sub-zero temperatures. Well, you won't last long.
The point is, we don't want roping in for any get-togethers.
That's it. They put you on a register. Next minute, you're sitting round banging a tambourine.
No. When your council has compiled the register, a number of old people's wardens will be appointed, whose job it will be to keep track of all old people in the area, particularly those who are at risk.
Oh, it's at risk, is it? That's something else that's come in. Oh, we never had that before. At risk. Now it's all at risk. battered babies, battered wives. Are you sure you won't have a scone?
No.
You do read some shocking stories. There was an old lass at Moortown that got eaten by her own Alsatian.
Her own silly fault. I wouldn't have an Alsatian. They always revert. We don't want pestering to go to any bingo. Joining in. That's what choked us off with church.
This isn't bingo, Mrs. Rhodes. It's survival.
We aren't good mixers. That's the trouble.
You are not. I am. I used to be a right good mixer.
You never were.
I went to the fellowship.
And they lassoed you. With neither of us anything in the mixing line. We were when we first got married, but you lose the knack.
What is it you're writing down?
Nothing.
What did we say?
Nothing. Mr Farquharson said that the survey would be a chance for us to do a little ad hoc assessment, part of our training. You know, field work. Only I'm not supposed to tell you that.
We're guinea pigs.
She has to learn.
Not on us, she doesn't.
I was just noting that you both seem very alert mentally.
There you are.
Mentally?
And you quarrel? That's another good sign.
We never do. We never have a crossword.
Well, you don't agree always. You spire. Look at it this way. It's a sign of life, vitality. On a scale of 1 to 10, you've got 8.
Why not 10?
Well, nobody gets 10. The Queen wouldn't get 10. This is the joy of the job for me. I did surveys in transport, traffic projections, long haul and short haul, purpose of trip. Only there was no feedback. And the beauty of this is, it's people. This is what they call interaction. Now, what were we saying? You were talking about church, how you used to go to church.
They've got this new young vicar.
It was the singing we liked.
He kept wanting these discussions, forums, race, religion, current affairs. We stopped going.
That's a pity.
Why? Do you go to church?
No.
Well, that's with you being educated. God's always the first casualty. One time he had us all talking about Buddha. Well, Mum doesn't know anything about Buddha, and I don't know anything about Buddha. And the third world.
I don't even know where that is. We just haven't been educated.
No dog collars. All us wore civvies. It's as if they're ashamed of it.
Last time we went to church, he stands up in the middle of the service and he says, "Now, I want you to shake hands with the person on either side of you." Well, Dad was all right because he was sat on the aisle. But I got a right common woman in a leopard skin coat. I'd never seen her before in my life.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Oh, I see you're in the same brigade.
Isolation. That's the bugbear.
Hey, we don't mind a bit of isolation. We like it. It's the other that we don't like. You had a couple kissing on the front of the parish magazine. I'd rather have little kitties with rice bowls myself.
I don't see what God has to do with mixing. Too much God, that puts the tin hat on it.
What about you? Do you mix?
Well, I tend to run across people at work, but I'm not at risk. I'm not old.
Old, old. There's problems with youth. You might commit suicide. That's snowballed.
Oh, Mam.
Well, how old are your parents?
They've split up, haven't they?
Oh, split up. Are you married?
No,
Where do you live?
Kirkswood.
They've pulled most of that down, haven't they? Is it a flat?
A bedsitter.
Oh, right. Well, a bedsitter, child of a broken home, living in a bedsit in a run-down inner city area. You're the one that's at risk. You want to get yourself on a register. Coming round telling us. Isolated. We like being isolated. It's the same on the radio now. Every programme you turn on, it's phoning in. And they make out that you're all friends. Everybody's friends. Well, we're not friends. We've got each other. And that's what we want. It's enough for us.
But that's it. You won't always have one another.
Oh, hell and damnation. Do you think we don't know that? Youth.
I'm not youth. Don't call me youth. I wish I was youth.
You are youth.
Can I have that scone?
Go on.
Some more tea?
What's that?
My notes. Conduct of interviews. Oh, I've gone wrong somewhere. It's my fault. We're in a confrontation situation now. Well, you shouldn't get into a confrontation situation. Mr Farquharson says if you get into a confrontation situation, you've slipped up. Cars. It's much more open and shut. It's just a case of, do you mind telling me your ultimate destination? Thank you, drive on. Oh, I'm maybe not suited to people.
Oh, you are. You're doing champion. We are not good at interviews, probably, are we, Mam?
Have this other scone.
Transport. I was in a rut. Mr Stringfellow said, take this sideways jump, June, and there'll be so many more doors open to you.
Listen, you did right. We've got a daughter. She's ambitious. Life is for living. That's her motto.
Well, let's have another go. This is Margaret, is it?
Yes.
Well, that's question 4. The council does not aim to replace family responsibility, only to supplement it, particularly in cases where senior citizens are childless. So, you're not childless. You've got a daughter. Any other siblings? Oh, I didn't know that either. It means brothers and sister. No?
No.
Is Margaret married?
No. Are you married?
No.
She could have been married. Married 3 or 4 times over if she'd wanted.
You'll have boyfriends.
Oh, yes. And lives where?
Oh, London. Where else?
She has a flat.
She's a personal secretary.
Oh. A secretary?
No, not a secretary. A personal secretary. Her boss is to do with ceramic heating.
I've not heard of it.
We hadn't heard of it either. It's these heated pottery panels set in. And being pottery-like, it retains the heat without running up a lot of expenditure on electricity. I've got a lot of literature about it if you're interested.
She's not interested, Anne. It's only with it being our Margaret that she's interested. Ceramic heating.
She could have gone to university if she'd wanted. but she said, "Dad, I want to get on with life." So she took a secretarial course and started off at Brunskills in Cardigan Road. It was just an ordinary job in the office with no responsibility. But as Margaret says, you make your own responsibility. It was old Mr Brunskill picked her out, so she wasn't like half the girls in the office, just marking time till they find the right man. She's never been all that interested in the opposite sex, hasn't our Margaret?
It was always, what does he do? Does his work take him to faraway places? She had a passion for geography. It was always, Dad, get the atlas. Show me Perth. Show me Rio de Janeiro. The last time she was here, I said to her, did you ever dream you'd be in Valparaiso? But she's very modest. She just laughed.
Oh, I'd like to travel. I never go anywhere.
Daughters. They used to live just round the corner. All that's gone.
She comes up to see us whenever her schedule permits. She flies to Leeds sometimes, takes air travel in her stride. More people are killed on the roads. It's a new breed.
When did she come up last?
When did she come up, ma'am? It's only a week or two since.
March.
Long ago as that. It's with her speaking on the phone.
Question 3. So, you're on the phone.
Margaret made us have one installed so she could keep in touch.
It was for her convenience. She must have the phone when she's staying here anyway. Last time her boss rang up in the middle of the night wanting her to fly to Dusseldorf.
She says the phone is one of the tools of her trade. She won't be much older than you, and she's on a 5-figure salary.
Oh, you won't be badly off, will you, love? The council, it's a good job these days. My uncle worked for the council.
It's not like the private sector.
Oh, well, you've got the satisfaction, haven't you, helping people?
I noticed that you didn't take sugar. Margaret doesn't take sugar. She has a bit of a struggle with the figure. Must avoid the carbohydrates. It's all these business lunches. She could have whatever she wanted to drink, but it's generally, may I please have an orange juice? Left on her own, she'd as soon have a bit of cheese and apple.
You've got a better figure than our Margaret.
Has she? I'd have thought they're about the same. I'll just show you a few snaps of her. This is her look, taken at Turin Airport.
She dresses very simply. Crisp white blouse and a few well-chosen accessories.
This one's Amsterdam. Oh, she can look stunning, but her aim is to blend in with the background. She says an ideal secretary should not be noticed, just taken for granted. This one's Los Angeles.
She can tick people off, though. She put a woman in her place at Leeds Bradford Airport. I was embarrassed. Don't know where she gets that from. Not from Dad, anyway. He never speaks up.
I've only ever been to Spain.
Oh, everybody seems to have been to Spain now, except us. Next door have been to Spain. They fetched us a little doll back. It was nothing. We like Scarborough.
Margaret goes all over. You'd be staggered if I told you her itinerary. I've got to know the names of airports just from listening to her converse. Paris, Charles de Gaulle, Chicago, O'Hare, Rome, Fiumicino. The boss would be lost without her.
But that's all it is, purely professional. He's married with 2 grown-up sons, one of them at veterinary college. Our Margaret's like a friend of the family. She spent Christmas with them.
Only because she couldn't get up here.
And you don't have a car.
No.
We could have done. We could have just about run to a car. Only Dad wouldn't learn.
Makes it more of a treat when Margaret comes up. Last time she ran us out to Fountains Abbey.
So, no car.
You've got your poise back now, haven't you, love? Asking you questions. It's just a matter of having confidence.
Thank you.
She's got confidence. Our Margaret. she's quite at home in hotels. She can choose a menu without turning a hair. And she knows all the vintage years. But when it comes to her, as I say, it's, can I have an orange juice, please?
Where have your parents split up to?
Mam's in Harmony. I don't know where my dad is. I'm always going down home.
Oh, that's nice. Nice for your mum.
Nice for us both. This old people's warden will just keep a quiet eye on you. You won't even know he's there.
Oh, it's a him, is it?
Well, it could be a her, either.
That's the law nowadays, isn't it? Must be a him or a her. When our Margaret was first starting, there was none of that. She had to fight every inch of the way.
Oh, Dad, not fight.
You don't know. We get postcards from all over. I've got books full. If we had grandchildren, it would be a real geography lesson. Where's the one we had from Washington?
Upstairs in my drawer.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, no, let him. Oh, sit down, love. Sit down. We've told a lie. We have 2 children. We had a son, after Margaret, Colin. Only, it wasn't right. He's in a home near Otley.
That's all right. I don't need to know that. Your daughter's the one that matters.
We never talk about it to anybody. We never talk about it.
Well, I won't write it down.
We thought he was all right. Only our Margaret could tell. She wouldn't play with him. She wouldn't have anything to do with him. After a bit, we couldn't cope. I think we waited too long. He was born after Dad got back from the war. We go to see him every month, only they don't put on enough buses. We just go out and sit on a seat somewhere, weather permitting. He'd miss us if we didn't go.
I don't know what to say. It's not to do with this, it's more private.
He's like a child. Sometimes I look at him and I think, if he were a proper lad, he'd be married now, with grown-up kiddies. Our Margaret won't marry, she's not the marrying sort. She's happy, that's the main thing.
I get the impression, correct me if I'm wrong, she wouldn't come back, Margaret. I mean, say something happened to look after you.
I never said that.
No, but they tell us to listen to the things you're not saying. Mr Farquharson says that the things you're not saying are more important than the things you are saying.
What about this other?
I don't know.
Don't say I said.
Your draw. It was in the scullery. Washington.
Nice.
It'll be all cars, same as everywhere else.
I've been abroad a bit myself.
He was in Tunisia.
Not only Tunisia. Tunisia, Libya, North Africa, Sicily. I saw Monty once. He came past in a jeep and waved. Few people can say that.
One last thing. In the event of an emergency, say you're both ill, who'll look after you?
Well, we wouldn't both be ill, would we?
I'm trying to look ahead.
Well, we shouldn't want our Margaret coming back, would we? She's got her own life to lead.
We just have to manage.
Supposing the worst came to the worst, there was just one of you.
Well, she'd come back, only I wouldn't let her. I discussed it with her once. She said, "Well, Dad, we all get older. Life is for living. That's my philosophy. I don't think you should expect it of your children."
I looked after my mother.
You weren't a career woman.
No close neighbours? Nobody who could come in?
Oh, next door come in all right, give him half a chance. Don't put that down.
The only other thing to give you is this card. It's just in case we have a winter like last year. If for some reason or other you can't get out, you pop this in the window and the warden will know to call.
Help? It's a bit stark, isn't it?
It says it all, that's the point. You don't have to be ashamed of asking for help, particularly now you're older. Everyone's getting them. The old, the disabled.
People at risk.
That's right.
It's been a nice change for us talking to you. We don't get many visitors.
Oh, don't thank me. It's you that's done me the favour. Help me with my cause. Mr Farquharson says, sit and chat. Learn how to draw people out, get them talking. That's your job.
Good luck with your chosen career.
You too. Well, in your retirement anyway.
And think on. Try and find yourself a man.
You do what you want. Happiness, that's the main thing.
Anyway.
Well, she seemed nice enough.
She wants to find herself a chap.
What do I do with this card? Help. What do you think?
It's telling the old street. We'll keep it just in case. I'll put it in my drawer.
We won't let our Margaret see it. Makes you feel older.
More leaves coming down. More mess. It never stops.